Sunday night football breakdown. They have the schedule for Sunday night football. I know Nazir been trying to get on to review Sunday night football for sure. He's going to be in the comments right now. I think he's working right now. So, um, but yeah, we're going to jump into the Sunday night football schedule breakdown. So here's the schedule. So what are the best games that we should be looking at?
I mean, week one jumps right off the page, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Bills versus Ravens, week one. Two of the best teams in the AFC. The front runners for the MVP award last year getting to face off against each other. That's probably going to be one of the games of the year, and it starts off right away. Week six, Lions Chiefs is going to be another fantastic game. Two great teams, two of the best teams in the NFL just going off head to head. And we've seen the Lions hang right with the Chiefs. They've beaten the Chiefs before. They beat the Chiefs a couple of years ago. So that'll be a really fun game. Week 8 is going to be a lot of fun as well, just for the storylines, because Rodgers against Green Bay. It's the first time we're going to see Aaron Rodgers play against his former team where he played so long. Week 11, another really good one. Lions versus Eagles. A rematch, or not even a rematch, just two of the best teams in the NFC going off head to head. I'm not seeing a lot of misses here, Jalen. I think pretty much every game here is going to be good.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that Week 11 game is the most intriguing to me besides Week 1 because that was supposed to be the NFC Championship game if it wasn't for Jaden Daniels. But but definitely Week 8 that has nothing but storylines behind it. The Packers versus Aaron Rodgers. And the Steelers don't have a bad team. I mean, they may have got rid of George Pickens. You know, they may have gotten rid of George Pickens, but you know there's Nazir in the comments, saying week 10, count your days. Yeah, that's going to be a fantastic matchup, too. The Steelers defense is going
The
to be insane.
Steelers and Chargers always give us good matchups.
But the one I least really care about is, I mean, I think there's two games on here that we really don't, I mean, maybe three games that you really probably don't care about. It's going to probably be the Chiefs and Giants. That's not going to be
Yeah, that's going to
something.
be probably a snoozer. That and the Week 5 matchup between the
Yeah,
Bills and Patriots. That's probably going to be another snoozer. But,
that's
any
probably
given
about it.
Sunday, anything can happen.
Hey, yeah, for sure. I mean, you never know how the Patriots are going to look, especially with the new coach, Brian. Who's that? Who do they got as they coach now?
They got Mike
Mike
Vrabel.
Vrabel. Yep,
Yeah,
Mike
the
Vrabel,
Cowboys got Brian Schottenheimer is his name, I believe.
which is absolutely I don't know who that is, and the Cowboys. They always had some kind of coach that was always like we had some kind of coach that was always known to the game of football or known who he was. So that Week 17 matchup might not really matter depending on how both of their seasons is going. I mean, that Week 17 matchup could be a snoozer as well, depending on how the Bears look.
I
Um,
mean, I think that game could actually be one of the more interesting ones,
yeah,
specifically based on wild card seeding, because I see the Rams winning the NFC West without too much challenge. Now, for seeding for those two teams, I think those are two of the teams that are going to be right around that 8-9, 9-8, 10-7, maybe 7-10 record. It's going to be really important for both of those teams to be on their A game in that game, because that could be determining the 7 seed in the NFC wildcard race. We don't know what that's going to look like. Obviously, the season hasn't started yet, but that's definitely going to be a game that could potentially have some wild card seeding riding on it. Same with that Week 16 matchup. Now that I'm looking at it too, those are two teams that are probably going to be around that AFC wildcard discussion.
I wanted to say that was going to be a snoozer, but I'm like, no, because the Bengals are going to bounce back this season, and you don't know how the Dolphins are going to look. They have an explosive offense, especially how Tua looks. If Tua looks good and he can stay out of concussion protocol, the Dolphins are going to always. The Dolphins are going to be there. You know, C.J. Stroud. Oh well, yeah. He just said week 4. That's what Nazir said. Week 14 is also buns. I can't really say that. I can't really
I
say
think
that.
that could be a good game. I don't think Houston's going to win that game, but it can be interesting. They always put up points against Kansas City. They're always shootouts. They're fun games. They just don't always go the way that a lot of us want them.
I think when we talk about Terry, that's the key. Like I don't know if because I can't really say much yet because I need Terry McLaurin to sign it right now. The way he's talking, the way he's acting is that he may not sign with them, and it's crazy. He may not sign that extension, but when he does sign that extension, I think week 13 is going to be a shootout.
Week
You
13? I don't know if Denver has the. I don't know if the Commanders against that Denver defense are going to be able to put up shootout levels of points. I mean,
Bo
that
Nix, I think he takes a step forward this year.
I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I just don't know if both of those offenses are really geared towards a shootout per se. That Commanders defense looked a lot better towards the end of last year, and obviously the Broncos defense is the Broncos defense.
Well, when I mean shoot, well, yeah, I probably should have changed the words, but it should be a highly and close game. That's what I probably meant.
Oh
But
yeah, I could see a 21 to 17,
yeah, yeah,
24 to
yeah.
21 in that type of game. I think week 12 actually could be a really fun game. We talked about
Yep.
that Baker Mayfield versus Matthew Stafford debate last week. Should be a really good game. Those are two really good teams, complete teams. That should be really fun as well. There's a lot of great games on here.
Yep. Broncos, baby. Yes, sir. The Broncos, Um, but what about that Cowboys and Dallas? I mean, that Cowboys and Packers game on week 4.
I think a lot of that comes down to how Dallas looks this year because Dallas looked really good 2 years ago in the regular season and awful last year. They had a lot of really bad showings. Ryan Schottenheimer, obviously first year coach, we don't know how he's going to look. He was the offensive coordinator for them last year, and that'll be tough just because Green Bay at Dallas. Green Bay tends to win at Dallas the majority of the time. They've actually won more playoff games in that building than the Cowboys have, which is kind of funny. But the Cowboys, they probably, even though it was over a year ago at this point, still have a sour taste in their mouth about that wild card game where Green Bay came in and beat the brakes off of them. So there's going to be a point to prove there, I think, for Dak, CD, and all the stars on that Cowboys team. So I think that could be a really good one. And for week one, Nas is obviously a big Lamar guy. So being able to make a statement for the Ravens, yeah, now we got Jalen taking the Bills in that game. Man, that's so hard to predict. I'm assuming just by looking at this, that game's going to be in Buffalo, so
Yep.
it's going to be tougher for Lamar to perform in that game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any
No, no, no,
stretch. I
not a
think two
chance.
touchdowns. I think at most a team's going to win by 10, but that's that is what it is. I think Buffalo is probably going to win that game specifically because of home field, but it'll be a really good game to start it off.
He's putting 100. Wow, anybody gonna match that? That's crazy.
Now, as you're not too far from Potawatomi in Milwaukee, go to the sports book and lay that down.
Right? Um, I mean, I don't think there was really much. I mean, you didn't even really need to talk about week 1. I mean, that game already speaks for itself right there. Everybody know who that game. Everybody know that's going to probably be that's the best game on the schedule.
I
Everybody
mean,
know
that or
that.
week 11. I think week
Yeah,
11 could hold, or week 6. I think those three immediately jump off the page. But then I think week 15 could also be, depending on how the Cowboys look this year, because they kind of go 1 year they look decent, then the next year they look terrible. Then the next year they're decent again, then they look terrible. They had their terrible year last year. They could be good again this year. If they're good, I think the Vikings and Cowboys could be a really fun game to watch.
1,000% for sure, for sure. I'm trying to think about what game we really didn't talk about. Week 7. We didn't really talk about week 7 or week 8.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really see
I don't really see too much with the Falcons this season.
like the Falcons are just kind of an average team in my mind.
Yeah,
Like I don't think of them as bad because I don't think they're bad, but I also don't think of them as a great team either. They got Bijan, which he's obviously an electrifying talent. Kyle Pitts, if he ever decides to play good football again, Drake London is there. Their defense is fine. It's not great. It's not horrible. It's just they're kind of average. And could they make the wild card? I don't know. Maybe that could be another one of those games like the Bears game is. They don't really jump off the page to me at all. But we didn't talk about either Falcons game really, but obviously week 8 will be a lot of fun. Packers Steelers, like we said, Aaron Rodgers versus Jordan Love in that game. Probably going to be a lot of emotions for Packers fans going into that. Rodgers, I would say mostly is loved by the fan base, but there's definitely a portion that's does not like him
They
just
don't.
because of
They probably
how.
don't like the diva side to where it was
Yeah,
all
they didn't like the diva side.
story.
They don't like the holding out of camp, going down to South America, doing what he does, just being himself. They just don't like his personality as much. So that'll be really fun to watch, specifically for that reason. It'll probably be a close game. If I had to guess, Rodgers is going to turn back the clocks 10 years in that game and have a really good showing. But
That's true.